Our hero, Lin Moyo, had reached the Wind Thunder Sea through teleportation. And as soon as he arrived, without wasting much time, he began moving forward. However, as he advanced, the thunder and the fierce winds blowing here kept coming in his way. Dodging the violent gusts of wind, he spoke seriously. Looks like this Wind Thunder Sea is not that easy to pass through. Even so, he was ready to move forward. He spread his skeleton wings even wider and started flying through at full speed. As he crossed the sea, Lin Moyo's powerful presence was evident. The story follows Lin Moyo, a character with the unique ability to summon a legion of powerful skeletons. His SS-Rank ability allows him to command an army of the dead, making him a formidable force. Throughout his journey, he is often referred to as our hero as he navigates challenges and battles formidable foes. The sea, the massive tornadoes wrapped in thunder, visible all across the area with violent winds, stood before Lin Moyo. Avoiding them carefully, he advanced slowly. Countless bolts of lightning kept falling on him, yet they did nothing to him. Looking at all this lightning, he grew a little troubled and muttered, "Fortunately, back in the corpse realm, I had already grown used to being struck by lightning. Compared to that, this level of thunder means nothing." And right then, from the middle of the sea, a thunder-wreathed tornado appeared. From within it, countless flying monsters began to reveal themselves before Lin Moyo. Seeing these creatures, he said in astonishment, "So those are the creatures that live in the Wind Thunder Sea, flying fish." It was a large group flying together. These were aquatic creatures capable of soaring through the air, and they swept past Lin Moyo from every side. Watching this, his expression became serious, as he realized he had accidentally entered their swarm. Looking at all of them, he exclaimed in shock, "No wonder the records say that the best way to pass through the Wind Thunder Sea is with a 50-man team. The number of these flying fish is just too much." The monsters whose group Lin Moyo had now stepped into were none other than the flying fish, led by a level boss, the Flying Fish Lord. It has an agility of 750,000, a spirit of 500,000, and a constitution of 600,000. Now, let's talk about its attributes. It wields deadly skills, piercing wind and consecutive flesh tier. As for its traits, wind element damage is reduced by 50. It is completely immune to the lightning element and its speed has been massively boosted. Looking at these attributes, Lin Moyo scoffed coldly and said, "With stats like these, compared to the other bosses of this world, this one is far too weak." Along with the flying fish, Lin Moyo also continued moving forward. However, just then, one of those creatures caught sight of him. The moment Lin Moyo realized that the fish's eyes had locked onto him, without wasting a second, he immediately unleashed his entire army of skeleton warriors and shouted loudly, "Come, let's see whether your flying fish are more numerous or if my skeleton legion is. Let's see whose numbers are greater, your flying fish or my skeleton legion," he declared. Immediately after, he activated Bone Prison, attempting to capture the airborne assailants. Chains forged of bone shot out at full speed, successfully restraining the flying fish one after another. Lin Moyo then commanded his skeleton general to unleash its Fire Hao ability, creating a 10-meter radius of continuous fire damage that spread among the enemies. The skeleton general's skill was primed to launch fire-type attacks, and soon the fiery aura was activated across the skeleton warriors. Following their master's command, the entire legion of skeleton warriors began their assault on the flying fish. Upon defeating a level 72 flying fish, Lin Moyo gained 4,320,000 experience points and obtained a flying fish scale. The relentless onslaught from his skeleton warriors continued, with notifications of slain level 72 flying fish appearing one after another as experience points poured in. The fish monsters were systematically being wiped out. However, the tide of the battle took a sudden turn as all the flying fish simultaneously activated their skill, piercing wind. Razor-sharp blades of wind materialized in the sky, rushing toward Lin Moyo's skeleton warriors. The impact was devastating, instantly destroying the skeletal soldiers. The first notification announced the elimination of 3 skeleton berserkers, quickly followed by another confirming the demise of 2 more. Seizing this opportunity, the flying fish advanced, closing in on the remaining skeleton warriors. Despite the significant losses to his legion, Lin Moyo remained unfazed, a confident smile gracing his lips as he raised his hand. With a deadly serious expression, he prepared to unleash his favorite attack, Corpse Explosion. "Too bad for me," he said sarcastically. "Having so many enemies isn't a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage." And with that, he immediately began the incantation. He activated Corpse Explosion. The corpses of dead fish floating in the air began to explode one after another. Slowly, more and more of the fish were caught in the blasts. Each corpse detonated in turn, creating a chain of continuous explosions that rocked the entire area. Watching the carnage, our hero, Lin Muoyu, laughed and said, "I haven't seen a scene like this in such a long time." By killing these flying fish, he gained a massive amount of experience points. Among them, he had also slain the old fish Wither King, which gave him 6,600,000 experience points along with the rewards, the Flying Fish Knight Sword and Flying Fish Essence. The Flying Fish Knight Sword was a Knight class exclusive, Kuei legendary weapon. It increased all attributes by 20,000, and boosted Knight type attack skills by 100. The Flying Fish Essence permanently increased immunity to the lightning element. Looking at the essence in his hand, he said in surprise, "Never thought something could permanently boost lightning immunity. This truly is a fine treasure." While he was admiring the item, something of the fire type formed beneath his feet, and instantly, a fire-type attack was launched from the sky, engulfing Lin Muoyu. However, it did not harm him at all. From within the blazing flames, our hero shouted angrily, "Come out!" Immediately, he saw some unknown people floating in the air before him. One of them looked at Lin Muoyu and said, "Hand over the flying fish essence." Hearing this, our hero also responded angrily, "This flying fish lord was hunted by me. Why should I give it to you?" At that moment, the man stepped forward with fury and declared, "My name is Cade. We are a squad from the Holy See. That flying fish lord was driven here only because of our painstaking efforts. And you, he stole our boss." Listening to Cade's words, Lin Muoyu laughed and replied, "Why didn't you appear while I was fighting the boss?" At the moment it died, you suddenly showed up. Cade's expression turned serious as he said, "Lin Muoyu, I don't want to waste any more words with you. I'll give you one last chance. Hand over the flying fish essence." As soon as he uttered those words, everyone behind him raised their weapons high. Then Cade shouted furiously, "Hand over the essence or else." The moment our hero heard this threat, he laughed and said, "Or else? What? Kill me? Don't you understand one thing? If I alone could kill the flying fish lord, don't you think I alone can wipe out your entire group?" Hearing this, sweat trickled down Cade's face. Still, the people behind him began shouting angrily. One roared, "You brat! You dare to disrespect the Holy See!" Another shouted, "Hand over the flying fish essence." Right after that, behind our hero, the Domain Divine Stone appeared. At this moment, anger was clearly reflected on his face, and the killing intent inside him burst forth. As Cade saw the Divine Stone and felt the killing intent radiating from Lin Muoyu, his forehead began to sweat. The only words he could manage to say were, "Run as fast as you can." But before they could act, chains made of bones shot past our hero, wrapping around and capturing everyone standing behind Cade. Immediately after, our hero summoned his skeleton warriors. Seeing themselves trapped within bone chains, those people became utterly terrified. One cried out in shock, "What is this thing?" Another screamed in fear, "A demon. This Lin Muoyu is a demon." At that moment, the entire area was surrounded on all sides by our hero's skeleton warriors. Just a moment ago, they were arrogantly raising their weapons, but now they were terrified after seeing the bone prison and feeling the killing intent erupting from him. Looking at the strange bone chains, they tried desperately to escape. But unable to break free, one of them shouted in fear, This killing intent is absolutely not something a level 52 professional should have. That he must be hiding his true level." Someone else shouted, urging everyone to run away as quickly as possible. But despite their desperate attempts, they could not free themselves. Screaming in terror, they cried out from the midst of the bone chains, "What is this skeleton-like thing? Why can't I break free from it? Why can't I shatter these bones?" Their leader, who had been the most arrogant of all, was also trapped. To escape, he activated a skill called Ultra Limit Defense, shouting, "Super Extreme Defense." Golden energy burst from his body, shattering the bone chains within seconds and allowing him to escape. Panting heavily and completely exhausted, he smiled faintly and said, "This is the upgraded version of Extreme Defense. After level 70, you can master it. Within 60 seconds, I can be immune to any negative status. Even a boss cannot harm me in the slightest." However, before he could even finish his words, a skeleton warrior suddenly rushed toward him and unleashed a violent blast attack. The powerful strike crashed into the leader, instantly breaking all of his defenses and hitting him directly. As the attack struck, he screamed while being sent flying. From a distance, Lin Muoyu looked at him and said in an icy voice, "Your strength is nothing special, yet you sure know how to brag." After taking the blow, the leader spat out mouthfuls of blood, trembling in shock. His eyes were wide with disbelief as he thought to himself, how was this possible? Why super extreme defense was broken. Just how powerful is his summoned creature's attack power? Meanwhile, the other skeleton warriors turned their blades on his teammates and began attacking them relentlessly with their massive swords. The leader, still reeling from the strike, looked around in panic and muttered to himself, "They're everywhere. These summons of his. Where can I possibly escape to?" At that very moment, the screams and cries of pain from his teammates reached his ears. Hearing their agonized voices, he turned to look at them, his eyes filling with terror and disbelief. Cold sweat dripped from his forehead as he stared at the horrifying scene in front of him. Fear consumed him as he desperately glanced around, unable to find any way to escape. In his desperation, he suddenly pulled out a shining sword and shouted, "Evil one, today I shall suppress you with my blood, holy sacrifice." Immediately, his teammates also drew their massive swords, and their weapons glowed with holy light. Together they shouted, "Holy sacrifice," in unison. They were performing some kind of ritual as golden light soared straight into the sky. From a distance, hearing their words, Lin Moyu muttered, "Sacrifice. This feels familiar. Could it be that sacrifice, the same as the Abyss Demon's skill?" Meanwhile, where the golden light had gathered, a powerful energy and pressure erupted outward. But this pressure severely harmed the others because they had already used up all their strength to perform the summoning ritual, leaving them in a terrible state. Still, the summoning was not yet complete. To finish it, one of them uttered the final words, "We respectfully invite the descent of God." Instantly, the sky grew even brighter as a mighty golden energy gathered above. From within that golden light, an angel descended, her arrival illuminating the entire area. Seeing this, the team leader, filled with hope, laughed and shouted, "Please, angel god, help us destroy this evil in front of us." Upon seeing the angel appear, Lin Moyu grew serious. The angel gazed at the holy pipe warriors who had summoned her, and at once released a blessing of holy energy upon them. Bathed in this holy light, all of them were surrounded by sacred energy, as the angel healed their wounds and restored their strength. Then, after surrounding everyone with holy energy, the angel looked around and saw the undead. In a stern and serious tone, she declared, "Such dense heretical evil, you shall be punished by the holy flames." This angel was the angel Holy Spirit, formed by the faith of the believers of the Holy Church and summoned through sacrificial light. She possessed pseudo-god level strength and could exist for 5 minutes. Seeing and hearing this, Lin Moyu immediately said, "I clearly haven't done anything wrong. So why do you insist on calling me evil? Why do you insist on calling me evil?" At the same time, he activated Strong Soldier, thinking to himself, just a mere pseudo-god. A being on the same level as a Demon King's clone, she may not be impossible to kill. Meanwhile, the angel rushed directly toward Lin Moyu's skeleton warriors, activating a powerful palm skill. Shouting furiously, she cried, "Evil man, now you will die." As soon as the energy-formed palm attack was created, it surged forward at great speed, heading straight for the skeleton warriors. The attack was extremely powerful, releasing immense pressure as it descended before finally colliding with them. Lin Moyu's expression grew grave. Quickly, he activated Soul Flame and released it at the angel. The moment the Soul Flame struck her, the angel screamed in agony, clutching her head and shouting in fury. No matter how she tried, she couldn't dispel the Soul Flame through normal means. To resist the flames, she activated Holy Fire which surrounded her, burning away the Soul Flame. The Holy Fire also began affecting the nearby skeleton warriors. The moment the Holy Flames touched them, they ignited and burned away into nothing. Watching this, Lin Moyu thought seriously, "Damn it. With the presence of Holy Fire, skeletons can't even get close." He immediately activated skeleton armor upon himself because a powerful energy and fire-infused attack was rushing toward him. The moment it struck, the flames began burning everything. His skeleton armor struggled to endure the Holy Fire, and with a grim look, he said, "Even bone armor cannot completely resist the damage of holy flames." The Holy Fire grew even more lethal, burning away his skeleton armor entirely. Forced to retreat, he rushed away to a safer distance. Pulling out the essence of the poison god, he said coldly, "Since it's a god, then I'll fight it in a god's way." At his side stood the Lick General, and Lin Moyu activated the poison essence on him. The Lick General immediately raised his staff and activated the skill Toxic Aura, casting it upon all members of the Undead Legion. Toxic Aura adds a poisonous aura to all Undead Legion members, dealing 10 points of damage per second to all enemies within 500 m. It can stack infinitely. As soon as the aura activated, it spread across the skeleton warriors who were now cloaked in poisonous energy. This toxic force surged violently toward the angel. Yet even seeing this, the angel did not panic. Instead, she sneered at Lin Moyu's efforts and said, "Such a weak poison. What use is it?" But while she was avoiding the poison, the skeleton warriors had already surrounded her from all sides. Now, with their blades drawn and their bodies cloaked in poison, they closed in. Watching this, Lin Moi laughed and said, "It's useless. My undead legion is endless, immortal, and indestructible. A single toxic aura may not matter much, but with infinite stacking, it will drain even you to death." Meanwhile, the angel was already engulfed by the poisonous gas. Surrounded completely, she struggled to escape. Coughing in shock, she cried out, "This poison, why does it last so long?"